Hey, welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox, driving on the road, drinking my iced coffee. I can't really stop the bumping. I'm not going to sit here and hold my camera while I drive, so you can listen. All you're going to see is this anyway. So, I've been more in the world to a degree for the last week than I normally am, and even then I'm way outside of the world, and I guess I'll explain. I was up at High Prairie Acres taking care of some business and getting a new air conditioner, getting a refrigerator put in up there, have some plans coming up in the future for it, and had to get some things squared away. My wife and I didn't really care, but you know, other people do, right? And so I'm in this rental car, nice rental car. You know, my vehicles, my personal vehicles, don't have air conditioning. Not a value judgment, not a moral thing. I'm cranking the AC right now. It just went out and I just never saw the need to fix it. So we don't have air conditioning in our vehicles. Certainly don't have air conditioning, in our house at High Prairie Acres. And I'm noticing some things that I didn't notice before when I lived a more normal life, like all y'all live, you know, with hot and cold running water and air conditioning and heat and, you know, furnaces and electricity and, you know, a garbage disposal and a dishwasher and a washing machine. And again, I am not making a moral value judgment. Don't think I'm going there. I said it recently in another video or something. If somebody plopped down a house like at High Prairie Acres on Shofar Mountain, what's happening to my camera? I would move into it, right? Come on. So it's not a value judgment, but I did make some observations. I don't have a TV, haven't had a TV forever, so I didn't watch TV. My video habits, you know, on YouTube and Netflix, which I have a Netflix account, were pretty much the same as at Shofar Mountain because I was so busy at High Prairie Acres. It's not like I was just plugged in, you know, sucking up entertainment. So that wasn't any different. I have a radio, like AM, FM radio at High Prairie Acres. I don't have one that I listen to at Shofar Mountain. I have one, but it's put away. But I have one, and my wife and I used to listen to like Art Bell and Coast to Coast at night. Didn't turn it on one time in a week. Didn't turn that radio on once. A couple times ago when I went to visit High Prairie Acres, I was chopping vegetables for supper and starting to get dark, and I'm like, man, where is my headlamp? Oh, it's upstairs. So I went upstairs, got my headlamp, put it on my head, and was halfway down the stairs before it dawned on me, duh, there's electricity here, and I turned on lots of lights. So I'm trying to remember what it was like when I lived like you do versus what I live now. And I have made some interesting observations. One is I was trying to listen to the radio here in this car while I was driving. Because I remember I used to be a talk radio guy, and I think probably many of y'all are talk radio people. You know, I listened to to Rush, and I listened to Hannity, and I listened to Beck until I got on the anti-Trump train when I was up at High Prairie Acres again, or once in a rental car. I'd listen to all that, but man, this time, it's all fluff. It really is all fluff. Or it's talking about stuff that I can't affect one way or another. And not only can I not affect it, but the information doesn't really help me. You know, telling me that all these Republican senators are against Drudge, and think about what we could have done if they are against Trump. Why do I have Drudge on the mind? I don't know. Somebody check Drudge. Maybe something's going on. But, you know, Republican senators and Congress critters, if they were actually supported Trump, he'd have done so much better. It's okay. Wah, 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 wah. So while I'm listening to that, I'm not thinking the thoughts that I consider the higher thoughts, the thoughts on the Most High, the thoughts on my plans for, you know, the next 15 minutes to the next 15 months, you know, those kinds of things. It's just kind of fluff, man. Can't do anything about it. And then the commercials are just outrageous, just horrible, just so many commercials for a little smidgen of supposedly good stuff. So that's one that I got frustrated with. Then the other thing, I was listening to some local talk show guy, and I don't even remember what he's talking about, but he was whining convention about something that I kind of agreed with him, so that's why I was listening to him. And then he broke to a commercial, and it went to the news on this station, and it was totally biased, horrid, anti-Trump working this deal with Kim Jong-un. You know, what he's done to this point is amazing and awesome. And we'll see where it goes. But what he's done to this point deserves credit. And I just got disgusted. I'm like, I'm done. Turn it off. Oh no, I flipped it. I listened to a Christian channel for about 5 minutes, got disgusted, turned it off. I just shot a video about that that's going to be on the Shofar Mountain site as a mini teaching soon. Not today, probably. I can't upload and drive. But radio. Some of y'all have TVs. I see comments about, well, I'd like to get rid of my cable, but then I wouldn't have a phone or something like, or I wouldn't have cable, or I don't know. Hey, it's the 21st century. There's a bunch of different ways to do different things. You want to have a TV? Fine. You know, again, it's not a moral judgment, but I'll tell you this, it's a complete waste of time, and you're being propagandized. I have a friend that I haven't seen in decades. We were really good friends in high school, and then after high school for a while. And we used to agree on things, you know, political things. We talked about political things and world events a lot. And he's been living in Northern Virginia this whole time. And man, he has gotten really liberal. I still like him as a person. But oh my gosh, it's kind of like, wow, you morphed. And then I'm thinking, yeah, I probably morphed too. You know, people change, right? Life, it has an impact on us. Impact on us. So air conditioning got fixed. Last day that I was at High Prairie Acres, new air conditioner. So of course I turned it on. And actually my house at High Prairie Acres isn't as comfortable without air conditioning as my house at Shofar Mountain, because I designed the Shofar Mountain house to have cross ventilation and a cupola, and we have good airflow, and now that we can run a fan at night, you know, it's fine. The house here was designed to have an air conditioner, and so it gets really stuffy and hot, and I didn't sleep that well for a couple nights. And then we have air conditioning, and so I set it at 72, right? Because 72 is supposedly comfortable. Well, it took all day to get up there because the house was pretty hot. And I'm laying in bed about 10 o'clock last night, and all of a sudden I'm getting cold. And this is in the warmest part of the house. You know, there's different kind of zones, and you know, our setup isn't totally efficient. So I'm in the warmest part of the house where the thermostat is, and I go out and I look at the thermostat, and it was 74 degrees, and I was cold. So I turned it up to 78. I slept like a baby. It was awesome. Think about that. If your temperature was at 78 in your house, would that be a good thing or a bad thing? I'm thinking for most of y'all, you've gotten used to, by this time of the summer, your air conditioning, and that would feel hot and stuffy to you. And it's not a moral judgment, it's just, it is what it is. But I noticed that. I'm changing, living at Shofar Mountain. Have no desire to watch TV. Don't listen to the radio anymore. I don't like the radio anymore. It disturbs my inner discussion. I like being more in tune with the weather. I'm not saying I want to sleep in a bed when it's 88 degrees or 90 degrees or something with no air moving. I'm not saying that, but my body temperature is comfortable now, closer to what it is. We kept our house cold when we had a regular house in the winter and warm in the summer compared to most people anyway, but now it's getting even more, I think. And so, I don't know what you can take from this except maybe this. Occasionally, I see the comments to something I say about how, I could never live like that. Words to the effect of, you don't understand, my wife needs this, or you don't understand, my husband needs this, or yeah, I made this money to do these things, I'm not gonna force myself to live like that. I guess this is the point. Probably just came up with a title for the video. Your creature comforts are highly overrated. What you think is important, creature comfort-wise, really is not. It's important in the short term. People can be extremely miserable and not able to do anything else when they're uncomfortable. I'm too hot. I'm too cold. I'm thirsty. I see that effect on people. It probably affects me to just a different degree than it affects the average person. It's like when I was in the military, not all of my jobs were in a special forces unit. Sometimes I was in a cell, or I was a special forces guy with a group of other people. And so sometimes a comment would come up, it'd be like we were going to do something and it's raining, or maybe I'm with some buddies doing something outside of work, and it's like, oh man, you're looking at the rain, and they're like, come on, you're special forces, or they'd say, you're a ranger, you love this stuff. No, I don't love it, but it has no effect on me. It doesn't stop me from doing what I'm going to do, but all things being even, I'd rather it be, clear skies and, depending on what I'm doing, 55 to 75 degrees. That's what I'd prefer. But dude, it could be minus 20 and, I'm not going to whine about it because I've just learned to deal with it. Doesn't mean I like it. And here's the thing, humans are the most adaptable creatures on Earth. We got humans living up on the Arctic Circle. We got humans living in the Kalahari Desert. Humans. They have good days. Wow, it's a really cool day today. 94. You can get used to things. Don't sell yourself short. The important things are not your creature comforts. Harden up a little bit. All right, I'll see you out there.